The wind howled across the purple plains of Viridia. Ji-Ho Park pulled her environmental suit tighter as she checked her scanner again. She was alone. The storm had separated her from the rest of the research team an hour ago, and the thick clouds blocked any signal to the ship. "Base camp, do you read me? This is Park," she said into her comm device. Only static answered back. Ji-Ho sighed and looked at the alien landscape around her. Viridia was beautiful but dangerous. Tall blue grass swayed in the wind. Strange flying creatures circled in the distance. The research vessel Horizon had arrived only 2 weeks ago, the first human expedition to this newly found planet. Ji-Ho was a xenobiologist. Her job was to study the animals of this world. The team was most interested in the creatures they called shimmer beasts, large predators with shiny scales that changed color in the light. No human had seen one up close yet. They only had blurry images from drones. Lightning flashed overhead. Ji-Ho needed shelter fast. Her scanner showed a small cave in the hillside nearby. She hurried toward it, the mud making each step difficult. As she neared the cave, she heard a sound that made her freeze. A low growl echoed from inside. Then came a pained whimper. Every safety rule said to turn back. Never approach an unknown alien animal, especially one in distress. But Ji-Ho's scanner showed no other shelter for miles. The storm was getting worse. "Just a peek," she whispered to herself, drawing her stun gun. Slowly, she approached the cave entrance. What she saw inside made her gasp. A shimmer beast lay on the ground, its leg caught in some kind of trap. The creature was magnificent, larger than an earth tiger, with scales that shifted between deep blue and purple. Its 6 legs ended in sharp claws, and a ridge of spines ran down its back. 4 eyes, glowing amber in the dim light, fixed on Ji-Ho. The beast growled again, showing rows of needle-sharp teeth. But it didn't lunge. It couldn't. The trap held it firmly. Ji-Ho's scientific mind raced. The trap wasn't human-made. It used materials from the planet. Were there other intelligent beings on Viridia, or had the shimmer beasts made it themselves? The creature whimpered again. Blood oozed from where the trap bit into its leg. Without help, it would die. Against all training and common sense, Ji-Ho stepped forward. "I won't hurt you," she said softly. "I want to help." The beast watched her, all 4 eyes tracking her movement. It growled when she got closer, but the sound was weaker now. Ji-Ho examined the trap. It was simple but effective, a loop that tightened when pulled. She could release it if she pushed down on the lever. "This will hurt for a second," she told the creature, knowing it couldn't understand her words, but hoping her calm tone would help. Ji-Ho pressed the lever. The trap loosened. With a quick movement, she pulled the injured leg free. The shimmer beast leaped up instantly. Ji-Ho fell backward, raising her stun gun. This was it. She had made a fatal mistake. But the attack never came. The beast stood still, its weight off the injured leg. Its scales shifted to a gentle green color. It made a soft clicking sound. Slowly, Ji-Ho stood up. The beast didn't move. It just watched her with those strange amber eyes. "You're welcome," Ji-Ho said, her heart still racing. The storm raged outside. Ji-Ho had no choice but to share the cave. She moved to the opposite wall and sat down, keeping her stun gun ready. The beast settled on the ground, still watching her. Hours passed. The storm showed no sign of stopping. Ji-Ho's eyelids grew heavy. Despite her fear, she fell asleep. She woke to something warm against her side. Her eyes flew open. The shimmer beast had moved during the night. It now lay curled beside her, its body heat protecting her from the cave's chill. Ji-Ho didn't move. She barely breathed. The most dangerous predator on Viridia was sleeping peacefully next to her. And somehow, she wasn't afraid anymore. Morning came with clear skies. Ji-Ho woke fully and found the shimmer beast still beside her. It raised its head when she moved. "I need to get back to my team," Ji-Ho said softly. She stood up slowly, careful not to make sudden moves. The beast watched her but made no threatening gestures. Outside the cave, Jeho turned on her comm device again. This time, a voice crackled through. "Park, where are you? We've been searching all night." It was Taewon Kim, her supervisor. "I'm about 5 kilometers south of base camp," Jeho replied. "I found shelter in a cave during the storm." "Stay put. We're sending a transport to get you." Jeho turned to head back into the cave, then stopped. The shimmer beast had followed her outside. In the morning light, its scales shimmered with blues and greens. The injured light looked better, though it still favored it when walking. "You should go now," Jeho told it. "Back to your home." But the beast didn't leave. It made a series of clicking sounds and moved closer to her. 20 minutes later, the transport vehicle appeared on the horizon. As it drew closer, Jeho expected the shimmer beast to run away. These creatures always avoided human machinery according to their research, but it stayed by her side. The transport landed, and 3 people jumped out. They froze when they saw the beast. "Jeho, don't move," Taewon shouted, raising his rifle. "We'll take it down." "No," Jeho stepped between them and the beast. "Don't shoot. It's not dangerous." "Have you lost your mind? That's a shimmer beast, the apex predator of this planet. It was trapped in the cave. I helped it. Now it's following me." The beast made more clicking sounds. It moved closer to Jeho, as if seeking protection. "This is unprecedented," said Min Su, another scientist from the team. "It should be trying to eat you, not protect you." "I'm naming it Da," Jeho said suddenly. The name felt right, simple and strong, like the creature. Taewon lowered his rifle slightly. "We can't leave it here, and we can't take it back to camp." "We can," Jeho argued. "Think about what we could learn. These creatures might be more intelligent than we thought. Look at its behavior. This isn't just an animal." After much argument, they agreed to bring Da back to base camp. They sedated it lightly, just enough to keep it calm during transport. Jeho stayed by its side the whole time. Back at camp, everyone stared as they brought Da to a secure research pen. Scientists gathered around, amazed by the closeness between Jeho and the beast. "I want to scan its brain," Jeho told Taewon once Dad was settled. "I think there's something special about these creatures." The scans shocked everyone. Da's brain showed patterns similar to those of intelligent species, complex neural networks and activity in areas associated with advanced cognition. "This can't be right," Taewon said, looking at the data. "These readings suggest it's not just a predator, it's sentient." "That's what I've been trying to tell you," Jeho said. She approached Da's pen. The beast was awake now, watching her with all 4 eyes. When she placed her hand on the clear barrier, Da placed a clawed foot in the same spot. "I think it understands me," Jeho said, "or at least it's trying to." That night, Jeho stayed in the lab beside Da's pen. The other scientists thought she was crazy, but she didn't care. She knew there was something special happening. While everyone else slept, Jeho looked through the data again. She found something strange. When she was near Da, both their brain patterns changed. Somehow, they were affecting each other. "We're connecting," she whispered. Da made a soft clicking sound in response. As if to confirm her words, Da's scales shifted to match the blue color of Jeho's uniform. This was just the beginning of something amazing. Jeho could feel it. A week passed at the research base. Jeho spent every day with Da. The other scientists watched with growing interest as the bond between human and beast grew stronger. "We need to try to communicate with it," Jeho told Taewon one morning. "Da is trying to talk to us with those clicking sounds and color changes." Taewon looked skeptical. "Even if it is intelligent, how would we understand it? We don't share any common language." "I have an idea," Jeho said. She went to the lab and returned with a small device. This is a neural interface. We use it to study brain patterns. I've modified it to work with Dad's unique brain structure. You want to connect your brain to that thing? Taedwan looked shocked. That's too dangerous. We won't fully connect, just enough to share basic images and feelings. After much debate, Taedwan agreed to let her try, but only under strict supervision. The next day, the team gathered in the lab. Dai was calm in its pen, watching Jiho intently. Jiho placed one part of the device on her head. The other part was adapted to fit on Dai's ridge of spines. The beast stayed perfectly still as she attached it, as if it understood the importance of what they were doing. Starting connection at lowest level, Jiho said. She pressed a button on the device. At first, nothing happened. Then, Jiho gasped. Colors and shapes filled her mind. Strange and alien, but somehow making sense. She saw the world through different eyes. Heat patterns, electromagnetic fields, scents that had colors. I can see how Dai perceives the world, she whispered. It's amazing. Then something unexpected happened. Jiho saw an image of herself, freeing Dai from the trap. The memory was filled with feelings of pain, fear, and then gratitude. Day is showing me memories, she told the team. It understands what I did for it. The connection grew stronger. Jiho saw more images. A group of shimmer beasts moving together through tall grass. A network of caves lit by glowing plants. Young beasts playing together. They're social creatures, Jiho explained. They have families, communities. This changes everything we thought we knew about them. Then a darker image came. Strange creatures with pale skin and many legs, moving through the shadows. Fear accompanied this memory. Not just Day's fear, but fear shared by all shimmer beasts. There's another species, Jiho said. Something the shimmer beasts are afraid of. I don't think we've discovered it yet. When the session ended, Jiho sat quietly, processing what she had learned. Dai watched her, its scales now a calm purple color. We have to continue these sessions, Jiho told Taedwan. There's so much more to learn. I'll report this to headquarters, Taedwan said. This discovery is bigger than we expected. Stellar Industries will want to know about a potentially intelligent species. That night, Jiho couldn't sleep. The images from Day's mind kept playing in her thoughts. She went to the lab to check on the beast. Day was awake, watching her as she entered. Without the neural device, they couldn't share thoughts. But Jiho felt they understood each other somehow. She opened the pen and sat beside Dai. The beast moved closer, its warm body comforting in the cool night air. What are you trying to tell me? Jiho whispered. Day's scales shifted colors rapidly. Blues, greens, reds. Then it made a series of clicking sounds. It stood up and moved to the lab computer. Jiho watched in amazement as Dai looked at the screen, then back at her. You want to communicate more, Jiho realized. You're asking for help. She turned on the computer. Using simple images, she began a rudimentary language lesson. Dai watched with complete focus, learning faster than Jiho thought possible. By morning, they had created a basic system of communication using colors, sounds, and images. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. We're making history, Jiho told Dai as the sun rose. Human and alien, learning to speak together. Day's scales turned a bright, happy yellow in response. 2 weeks after the first neural connection, a small ship landed at the research base. Jiho watched from the lab window as a tall man in an expensive suit stepped out. He didn't look happy. That's Hyun Lee, Taedwan explained. He's from Stellar Industries, the company funding our research. Jiho felt uneasy. Why is he here? Your discoveries about the shimmer beasts have caught their attention. Minutes later, Hyun entered the lab. His eyes went straight to Dae, who was now allowed to move freely around Jiho's workspace. The beast's scales turned a wary orange at the sight of the stranger. So this is the famous specimen. Hyun said, his voice cold. Impressive. His name is Da, Jaiho corrected. And he's not a specimen. He's an intelligent being. Hyun smiled without warmth. That's exactly why I'm here, Dr. Park. Stellar Industries is very interested in your work. We want you to capture more shimmer beasts and bring them back to Earth for study. Jaiho felt her stomach drop. That's not possible. They're not just animals we can take from their home. With all due respect, that's not your decision to make, Hyun replied. The company has invested millions in this expedition. The potential applications of studying these creatures are enormous. Taiwan looked uncomfortable, but nodded. The company's orders are clear, Jaiho. We need to prepare for a capture mission. After they left, Jaiho sat beside Da, her mind racing. The beast sensed her distress and made soft clicking sounds. I won't let them take you or your kind, she promised. That night, Jaiho used the neural interface again. This time, she tried to share her own thoughts with Da. She showed images of Hyun, ships taking shimmer beasts away, and the danger this posed. Da's response was immediate and clear. Images flooded Jaiho's mind. The delicate balance of life on Viridia, how the shimmer beasts kept other species in check, particularly the pale creatures she had seen before. These creatures, Da's thoughts named them as hollow ones, would grow out of control without the shimmer beasts to hunt them. It's not just about your freedom, Jaiho realized. It's about the whole planet's ecosystem. The next morning, Jaiho tried to explain this to Taiwan, but Hyun interrupted. We're not interested in ecology lessons, Dr. Park, he said sharply. We're here to collect valuable specimens. The capture team will begin work tomorrow. And what happens when the hollow ones multiply without the shimmer beasts to control them? Jaiho demanded. Hyun looked surprised. Hollow ones. Another predator species. Dai showed me. They're dangerous, and the shimmer beasts are the only thing keeping them in check. More reason to study these beasts properly in our labs, Hyun replied. If they're that important, we need to understand them fully. Jaiho knew she couldn't change his mind. Corporate profits meant more to him than an alien world's balance. Later, Min Soo, one of the younger scientists, came to Jaiho's lab. She looked around nervously. I heard your argument with Hyun, she whispered. I think you're right. We can't just take these creatures. Thank you, Jaiho said, but what can we do? The capture team arrives tomorrow. Min Soo placed a small device on the table. This is a key to the emergency rover. It has supplies for 2 weeks. I've disabled its tracker. Jaiho stared at her. You want me to run? I want you to do what's right, Min Soo replied, for Dai and for this planet. That night, as the base slept, Jaiho packed quickly. Food, water, medical supplies, and the neural interface. We have to find your family, she told Da. We have to warn them. Dae seemed to understand. His scales turned a determined blue. As they slipped out into the darkness toward the waiting rover, Jaiho knew she was leaving behind everything. Her career, her reputation, perhaps even her way back to Earth. But looking at Dae, she knew she was making the right choice. The rover sped across the purple plains of Viridia. Jaiho had been driving for 6 hours straight, putting distance between them and the research base. Dae sat beside her, watching the landscape through the window. We need to find somewhere to rest, Jaiho said. Her eyes felt heavy. Dae made a series of clicks and tapped the navigation screen with a claw. Jaiho looked at where he was pointing. A range of low mountains to the east. Is that where your family is? She asked. Dae's scales turned a confirming blue. Jaiho turned the rover toward the mountains. As they drove, the landscape changed. The grass grew taller, and strange tree-like plants appeared. Animals Jaiho had never seen before scattered as the rover approached. This area hadn't been explored by the research team yet. By midday, they reached the foothills. Jaiho stopped the rover in the shadow of a large rock. She needed sleep, But it wasn't safe to stay in one place for long. The tracking device was disabled, but Stellar Industries would send search parties soon. "Just 2 hours," she told Da. "Then we keep moving." As Jai-Ho slept, Dai kept watch. The beast's 4 eyes scanned the surroundings constantly, alert for danger. A sound woke Jai-Ho. Dai was growling low in his throat. Outside, something moved in the tall grass. Dai's scales had turned a warning red. "What is it?" Jai-Ho whispered, reaching for her stun gun. The grass parted, and Jai-Ho's blood ran cold. A pale, many-legged creature emerged, a hollow one, just like in Da's memories. It was the size of a large dog, with no eyes she could see and skin that looked almost translucent. "Stay in the rover," Jai-Ho said, but Da was already moving. He leaped through the window she had left open and landed in front of the hollow one. The two creatures circled each other. The hollow one made a horrible hissing sound. Da's spines stood up along his back, making him look bigger. Jai-Ho wanted to help, but she knew this was Da's territory, a fight between predators. The hollow one lunged, its mouth opening to reveal rows of needle-like teeth. Da moved with surprising speed, slashing with his claws. The hollow one screeched in pain. The fight was over quickly. The hollow one retreated back into the grass, leaving a trail of pale fluid. Da returned to the rover, his scales gradually shifting from battle red to a calmer blue. "Thank you," Jai-Ho said, touching his head gently. "You protected me." They continued their journey into the mountains. The path grew steeper and harder to navigate. By evening, the rover couldn't go any further. "We'll have to continue on foot," Jai-Ho said. She packed essential supplies into a backpack. As night fell, the temperature dropped rapidly. Jai-Ho shivered in her environmental suit. Dad noticed and moved closer, his warm body providing heat. They found shelter in a small cave and made camp. Using the neural interface, Jai-Ho connected with Dai again. "How much further to your family?" Images flowed into her mind. 2 more days of travel, deeper into the mountains. A network of caves where many shimmer beasts lived together. But also danger. More hollow ones lived in these mountains than anywhere else on Viridia. "Why do your people live so close to danger?" Jai-Ho asked. The answer came in feelings rather than images. Duty, protection, ancient purpose. The shimmer beasts weren't just predators. They were guardians. They kept the hollow ones from spreading across Viridia. Jai-Ho was amazed. "Your species has a purpose, a mission." As they sat in the cave, Jai-Ho noticed something strange on the wall. Markings that looked deliberate, not natural. She shone her light on them. "These are symbols," she whispered. "Someone made these." Day clicked and touched the markings with his claw. His scales turned a color Jai-Ho had never seen before, a deep, ancient purple. Through their connection, a new understanding formed. The shimmer beasts hadn't always been wild creatures. Long ago, they had worked alongside another species, builders, creators. There was a civilization here, Jai-Ho realized. And your kind was part of it. Da's response was clear, not just part of it, created by it, to serve a specific purpose. The mystery of Viridia was deeper than Jai-Ho had ever imagined. The next morning, Jai-Ho and Dai continued their journey deeper into the mountains. They followed a narrow path that wound between tall rocks. Sometimes Dai would stop and mark the way with scratches on stones. Jai-Ho realized he was leaving a trail they could follow back if needed. "You're very smart," she told him. Dai's scales rippled with pleased green colors. By midday, they reached a high ridge. Jai-Ho gasped at the view. Below them stretched a valley filled with strange trees that glowed with soft blue light. In the center of the valley was a large lake that shimmered with the same light. "It's beautiful," Jai-Ho whispered. Dai made excited clicking sounds. His scales shifted rapidly through happy colors. They were getting close to his home. As they descended into the valley, Jai-Ho noticed more of the strange markings she had seen in the cave. They were carved into rocks and trees along the path. Some looked like star patterns, others like flowing water. The ancient civilization was all through this valley, she said. Suddenly, Dai stopped. His scales turned alert orange. From the trees ahead came low growls. 3 shimmer beasts, larger than Dai, stepped onto the path. Their spines were raised, and their scales glowed with threatening red. Jaiho froze. Dai. Dai moved in front of her protectively. He made a series of complex clicks and color changes. The other beasts watched him. Then one stepped forward. Jaiho recognized the pattern on its head. It looked like Dai, but older. "Is that your parent?" Jaiho asked quietly. The older beast approached carefully. It sniffed Jaiho, then turned to Dai with questioning clicks. A conversation of sounds and colors followed. Jaiho couldn't understand it without the neural interface, but she could tell it was intense. Finally, the older beast's scales shifted to a neutral blue. It turned and walked back toward the trees, the others following. Dai nudged Jaiho to follow too. They walked for another hour before reaching a cliff face covered with thick vines. The lead beast pushed through the vines, revealing a hidden entrance to a cave. Inside, the walls glowed with the same blue light as the trees. Jaiho's eyes widened as they entered a large cavern. At least 20 shimmer beasts of various sizes moved around the space. Young ones played in one corner. Others were grooming each other or sleeping on raised rock platforms. "It's a community," Jaiho said in wonder. "A real society." The shimmer beasts all turned to look at her. Some growled. Others backed away. A tense silence filled the cavern. Dai stepped forward and made a long series of clicks and color changes. Jaiho wished she could understand. She reached for the neural interface in her pack. "I want to speak to them," she told Dai as she put the device on her head. With Dai's help, she connected to the older beast, Dai's parent. Images flooded her mind. Humans in different clothes from long ago, carrying weapons, fighting. Shimmer beasts dying. Pain and fear. They've met humans before, Jaiho realized with shock. This isn't first contact at all. More images came. Humans taking young shimmer beasts, cutting them open, studying them, then leaving the planet, never to return. Until now. "I'm not like them," Jaiho tried to project. "I'm here to help, to warn you. More humans are coming. They want to take you away." The older beast's response was clear: distrust, anger, readiness to fight. Jaiho showed her own memories, helping Dad escape the trap, learning to communicate, running away from the base to warn them. Hyun's plans to capture them. Slowly, the older beast's anger faded. Curiosity replaced it. Then came new images, deeper caves below this one. Ancient rooms with strange devices, walls covered in the same symbols Jaiho had seen outside. "You want to show me something," Jaiho understood. The older beast led Jaiho and Dai to the back of the cavern, where a tunnel sloped downward. As they descended, the blue glow grew stronger. The tunnel opened into another cavern, but this one was clearly not natural. Smooth walls, perfect stone floors, and in the center, a pedestal with a glowing blue crystal. Jaiho stared in amazement. Who built this place? The answer came through the neural link. The creators. Those who made the shimmer beasts to guard against the greatest threat Viridia had ever known. The Hollow Ones. Jaiho spent hours studying the ancient chamber. The walls were covered with symbols and pictures that told a story. Through her neural connection with Dai and his parent, she began to understand. The creators were not from Viridia, she said, tracing a symbol that looked like a starship. They came from somewhere else, long ago. The images showed tall beings with 4 arms working in laboratories. They created the shimmer beasts from local animals, making them stronger and smarter. But why? What were they so afraid of? The answer came in the next set of images. Deep underground, the creators found something. strange egg-like objects that glowed with pale light. When they brought these eggs to the surface for study, they hatched. The hollow ones emerged. They didn't evolve here naturally, Jai-Ho realized. The creators accidentally released them. The hollow ones multiplied quickly. They attacked anything that moved, consuming all life they encountered. The creators couldn't stop them. Their weapons weren't effective against creatures that could squeeze through tiny spaces and had no vital organs to target. So they created the Shimmer Beasts, hunters perfectly designed to track and kill hollow ones. The beasts could sense the hollow one's unique energy signature. Their claws could pierce the hollow one's tough skin. You were made to be guardians, Jai-Ho told Dai, whose scales glowed with pride. But the story didn't end there. A final series of images showed the creators leaving Viridia in their ships. The planet was safe, but something called them back to their home world. They left the Shimmer Beasts to continue their work, keeping the hollow ones in check. And you've been doing this job for thousands of years, Jai-Ho said, amazed. Dai's parent led them deeper into the chamber. In the center was a large map of Viridia made of glowing crystal. Red dots pulsed across the map, hollow one nests. Jai-Ho noticed something alarming. There are more red dots now than in the older sections of the map. The hollow ones are spreading. Through the neural link, she felt the Shimmer Beasts' concern. Their numbers had decreased over time. They could no longer contain all the nests. Some hollow ones were reaching areas of Viridia they had never been before. And now humans want to remove more of you, Jai-Ho said. This is worse than I thought. Suddenly, an alarm sound echoed through the chamber. One of the younger Shimmer Beasts rushed in, its scales flashing emergency red. Through the neural link, Jai-Ho understood. Humans were in the valley. The capture team had found them. How? Jai-Ho wondered aloud. The rover's tracker was disabled. Then she remembered. Her own suit had a built-in locator for safety. She had forgotten to remove it. I led them right to you, she said, horrified. This is my fault. Dai's parents' scales turned battle-ready red. Other adult Shimmer Beasts gathered, preparing to defend their home. No, wait, Jai-Ho said. Fighting will only make things worse. Let me talk to them first. She removed the neural interface and handed it to Dai for safekeeping. Then she turned to leave the chamber. Dai followed her, making worried clicks. I need to fix my mistake, she told him. Stay here where it's safe. But Dai insisted on coming with her. His scales turned a determined blue as he walked by her side. Together, they climbed back to the main cavern. The other Shimmer Beasts were hiding the young ones deeper in the cave system. I'll try to make them understand what's at stake, Jai-Ho said. As they approached the cave entrance, Jai-Ho heard familiar voices outside. Taiwan was there, along with Hyun and several security officers. Dr. Park, we know you're in there, Hyun called. Come out now and bring the specimen. Jai-Ho took a deep breath. Remember, let me do the talking, she told Da. But as they stepped out of the cave into the sunlight, Jai-Ho froze in horror. Behind the humans, moving silently through the tall grass, were dozens of pale, many-legged forms. The hollow ones had followed the humans to the heart of the Shimmer Beast territory. Behind you, Jai-Ho shouted to the humans. Hollow ones. Hyun turned with a skeptical look, but Taiwan's eyes widened in alarm. He had seen the creatures moving in the grass. What are those things? He asked, raising his rifle. The real danger on this planet, Jai-Ho said. The reason the Shimmer Beasts are so important. Before she could explain more, the first hollow one attacked. It leaped from the grass toward one of the security officers. The man fired his weapon, but the shots passed through the creature's strange body with little effect. Dai moved faster than Jai-Ho had ever seen. He jumped between the officer and the hollow one, slashing with his claws. The hollow one screeched and fell back. More hollow ones emerged from the grass. There were at least 20 of them, surrounding the humans. Get inside the cave, Jai-Ho yelled to Taiwan and the others. Now. Hyun looked pale with fear. What's happening? What are these things? I'll explain inside. Move. From the cave entrance, more shimmer beasts appeared. They formed a protective circle around the humans, guiding them toward the safety of the cave. Their scales glowed battle red as they faced the Hollow Ones. Once inside, Ji-ho quickly told Taiwan and Hyun what she had learned about Viridia's history. The creators, the Hollow Ones, and the Shimmer Beast's role as guardians. So you see, she finished, taking the Shimmer Beasts from this planet would be a disaster. The Hollow Ones would spread everywhere. Outside, they could hear the sounds of fighting. Shimmer Beasts roared and Hollow Ones screeched as the battle raged. But why are there so many Hollow Ones here now? Ta-One asked. Why did they follow us? Ji-ho thought for a moment. Your equipment. The Hollow Ones were drawn to the energy signatures. The creators' records showed they're attracted to certain types of energy. Hyun looked through the cave entrance at the battle outside. His face had changed. The cold corporate man was gone, replaced by someone who looked afraid and unsure. I didn't know, he said quietly. This changes everything. One of the security officers screamed. A young Hollow One had somehow slipped into the cave and was now crawling rapidly toward him. Everyone backed away, but there was nowhere to run deeper in the cave. That's where the young Shimmer Beasts were hidden. The officer fired his gun, but the shots did nothing. The Hollow One leaped. Hyun pushed the officer aside and tried to fight the creature off with his bare hands. The Hollow One latched onto his arm, its needle teeth sinking into his flesh. Ji-ho looked around desperately for a weapon. Then a blur of blue scales shot past her. Da and 3 other Shimmer Beasts attacked the Hollow One, tearing it away from Hyun. They killed it quickly, then stood guard at the cave entrance to make sure no others got in. Hyun sat on the ground, clutching his injured arm. His face was pale from pain and shock. They protected me, he said, looking at the Shimmer Beasts. Why? Because that's what they do, Ji-ho said simply. They protect. It's what they were made for. Taiwan knelt beside Hyun, treating his wound with a medical kit. What do we do now? We're trapped here. Ji-ho thought hard. The creators left technology behind. In the chambers below, there might be something we can use against the Hollow Ones. She turned to Da. We need to go back to the crystal room. Da's scales turned agreement blue. He led Ji-ho and Taiwan deeper into the cave system, leaving the other humans with the Shimmer Beasts for protection. In the ancient chamber, Ji-ho studied the wall symbols more carefully. Here, she said, pointing to a section they hadn't noticed before. The creators had a device that disrupted the Hollow One's energy patterns. It didn't kill them, but it drove them away. The image showed a crystal similar to the one in the center of the room, but configured differently. If we can modify this crystal using the creator's design, Ji-ho said, we might be able to drive the Hollow Ones back. Taiwan looked doubtful. Can we really recreate ancient alien technology? Ji-ho smiled at Da, who stood watchfully by her side. With help from our friends, I think we can. 6 months had passed since the battle at the cave. Ji-ho stood on a hill overlooking the new research base. It was built near the Shimmer Beast territory, but with their permission. Below, humans and Shimmer Beasts worked side by side. It's amazing how much has changed, Ta-One said, joining her on the hill. Ji-ho smiled as she watched Dad leading a group of young scientists through the valley. His scales glowed a proud blue as he showed them safe paths and pointed out important plants. The device worked better than we could have hoped, she said. The modified crystal from the creator's chamber had indeed driven back the Hollow Ones. The energy it produced made them retreat to their deep underground nests. It bought time, but didn't solve the problem completely. Hyun's report to Stellar Industries changed everything, Ta-One said. I never thought they would cancel the capture mission and fund a protection program instead. Ji-ho remembered Hyun's face when he returned to Earth. His arm would always carry the scars from the Hollow One's attack, But his mind had changed even more deeply. He had gone from seeing the shimmer beasts as valuable specimens to understanding their crucial role on Viridia. People can change when they see the truth with their own eyes, Jaiho said. In the valley below, a new building stood next to the cave entrance. It housed the improved neural interface system that Jaiho had developed. Now any human researcher could communicate with the shimmer beasts, learning from their ancient knowledge. The translation program is working well, Ta-1 noted. We've learned more about this planet in 6 months than we would have in 10 years the old way. The biggest discovery had been in the deepest chamber below the Shimmer Beast caves. There, they found the creators' records, a complete history of their time on Viridia. It revealed that the creators had visited many planets, including Earth, thousands of years ago. We're not so different after all, Jaiho said. Humans, creators, even shimmer beasts, we all want to protect life. A young shimmer beast ran up the hill toward them. It was one of Dae's younger siblings, its scales flashing excited green. What is it? Jaiho asked, connecting through her personal neural device. Images flowed into her mind. Another chamber had been found, deeper than any before. Inside were dormant creator technologies that might help permanently contain the Hollow Ones. We should go see, Tai-1 said when Jaiho explained. As they walked down the hill, Jaiho saw Min-Su working with 3 shimmer beasts near the lake. They were using special tools to collect samples of the glowing water. Min-Su's quick thinking months ago had saved many lives. Now she led the environmental research team. Dae waited for them at the cave entrance. His scales turned a happy yellow when he saw Jaiho. They still spent most days together, the bond between them stronger than ever. Show us this new chamber, Jaiho said. Inside, researchers and shimmer beasts worked together to catalog ancient artifacts. Some of the humans wore small devices on their heads, portable versions of the neural interface that allowed direct communication. Deeper they went, through tunnels that spiraled down into the planet. Finally, they reached a sealed door covered in creator symbols. No one has opened this in thousands of years, Jaiho said. Together, she and Dae placed their hands on the door's center panel. Human and shimmer beast, working as one. The door recognized their combined touch and slowly slid open. Inside was a vast chamber filled with dormant technology. At its center stood a holographic map of the galaxy. Tiny lights showed hundreds of worlds the creators had visited. This changes everything we know about the universe, Ta-1 whispered. Jaiho felt Dae's excitement through their connection. The shimmer beasts had always known they had a purpose on Viridia. Now they might have a greater role in the galaxy. As human and shimmer beast stood together before the map of stars, Jaiho thought about her journey. She had come to study alien life, but had found partners instead of specimens. She had risked everything to protect Dae, and in return, he had shown her wonders beyond imagination. What happens next? Ta-1 asked. Jaiho looked at Dae, whose scales now glowed with a color she had never seen before, the color of possibility. We explore, she said simply, together.